Everyone, Deadpool Negative back with another review of a book I wasn't kind of that enthusiastic about getting, but I said, well, I can give it a shot. One thing Dynamite keeps doing and doing, doing is crossovers with their characters. Um, Now, to be fair, like Dynamite puts a lot more thought into crossovers, but it's so funny. Like it's like they have a whole series of books where zombies fight their female heroes. The female heroes team up to fight. There was Prophecy. There was Swords of Sorrow. And lately they've been having crossovers with other companies' characters. I mean, their tentpole comic this summer is Thundercats X Silverhawks, which I'm totally not going to buy. That's right. I'm not going to think about something I've been thinking about, buy a comic based on something I've been wondering about since I was 9. That won't happen at all. Um, oh, it is $5, $6 an issue, and it's a 18-part crossover. That's a lot, guys. But recently I've been reading Harley Quinn X Elvira, which I can certainly say is a comic written by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner. But they just launched another, we've had Darkman meets Army of Darkness, which was actually good. That was Kurt Busiek. And that was supposed to launch a Darkman series um, that never materialized. We've had Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness, which ranks as one of the greatest uh, pieces of literature of the 21st century. Um, we've had we've had Vampirella meets Army of Darkness. We've had Kiss meets Army of Darkness, which was actually pretty cool. And now we've got Archie X the Army of Darkness. And how are you thinking, then it is Deadpool? I know what you're thinking, and you're asking, Deadpool Negative, does Archie read the book and bring the Nets back to life? And I'm like, of course he does. That's in fact what happens in the first couple pages. Like, Reggie Mantle is in and Reggie Mantle has a house. He's throwing a party, and they find in the basement the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead. And of course, Archie opens it and says, Klaatu Barata Narbo? So, we get yeah, but then the story jumps back a couple weeks, and we find well, first of all, as with every crossover that has that has a more darker adult character with Archie, Moose gets horribly murdered. Feels like that's kind of a requirement. um, so we jump back 1 month, and this series is drawn by drawn Archie artist Bill Galvan, and inked by Ben Galvan, which I assume is a relative. And it's Archie artwork, and you'd think and I have to say, they pull off the more gory moments pretty well, even a little better than Fernando Ruiz did in Archie versus Predator, which I would recommend to you if I didn't think the person who wrote it was evil. The person who wrote this comic is actually Erik Burnham, who is not evil. He's mostly known for writing lots and lots and lots of stuff for IDW, including Ghostbusters. He wrote most of their Ghostbusters material, which I thought had the good moments and bad moments. I personally think that IDW should have gone with the real Ghostbusters ongoing, as opposed to just like classic Ghostbusters. But well, his material is pretty good. He's written some kid stuff. He's currently doing the TMNT series, Saturday morning series, which a lot of people seem to enjoy. I mean, he's not like he's one of those guys like solid if unremarkable. His comics stories aren't boring and his jokes are mostly funny. So we jump back a month, and the storyline they start making fun of Labubu's. It's a pretty funny gag because like both Archie and Veronica and Betty want Labubu's, and they're called Stormy Dogs, and they're kind of like the most unremarkable looking thing ever. Look at this is a Stormy Dog, but the joke is they're collectibles. I have the same thing about Labubu's, or first I look at Labubu and it's like, is that a Furby or a Floby or a Suckby? But to get so not to disappoint Veronica and Betty, he decides to get them both Stormy Dogs, and the only way to do that easily is take a job at a retail place. That's right, shopping smart, shopping S-Mart. So, I'm not really sure why they felt the need to do the jump back, and because like the majority of the story is taken up by Archie trying to get a job and meeting. Now this is the interesting thing. Ash is not drawn to be a Archie character. In fact, he looks more like the Frame brothers drew him. I mean, it's clearly Galvan, but he looks more like he was being drawn. The art style looks similar to the Frame brothers, who did The Waiting Place, America Junior, Vampire PA, and it's kind of odd. I mean, one of the greatest crossover comics of all time was Archie meets Punisher, and the big did an interesting thing when they had Stan Goldberg draw Archie for the most part, and John Buscema draw the Punisher, and it made for an odd but suitable contrast, and but of course Ash meets, but this issue is all set up, and again it's $5, but there was a certain charm to it. Does it need to be 6 issues, which I assume it is? I don't know. What I think is going to work about the series is if Burnham can keep up with Archie and Ash's interaction. Like the idea of Ash being a sort of mentor figure to Archie, like when it comes to slaying demons and deadites, actually sounds like a lot of fun. Whether we'll get there remains to be seen. But I'm cautious enough to give it another look, another issue. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hit the bell for notifications, etc. And I'll see you next time.